Namaste children, welcome to the video session of class 6 social lesson 3 the government. Today we are going to see a new lesson from the political science. Yes, it is about the government. Before entering the lesson, I have a short video to show you about the history of voting and the meaning of democracy. Come on, let us watch the video.
Democracy is more than a vote. The right for all people to vote is a hard-won political freedom we should cherish. To share power in a more meaningful way, we need to look beyond the ballot box. Democracy means that power rests with people. It means people can shape the important decisions that affect their lives. And it means people have the confidence to ask for the changes they wish to see in the world. Democracy beyond the ballot box is not a new idea. Its roots are from ancient Athens. People gathered together in assemblies to debate issues, making decisions on laws after measured and thoughtful discussion. In the ancient world, women, slaves, young people, and many working men were unable to participate, and those with more money and time had advantages over those without. In the modern world, we can and must ensure everyone can participate equally. But we can still learn important lessons from ancient Athens. In a true democracy, all citizens have equal power to influence the decisions that affect their lives. In a true democracy, politicians and experts serve all of us, not just vested interests. Their expertise and power is on tap, not on top.
Yes, that video would have been showing you about the history of voting and the meaning of democracy. Yes, we are going to see in detail about that video in this session. Yes, let us see the learning outcomes of today's session. At the end of today's session, you will be able to define what is a government, and also you can list the need and importance of government. Yes, why do we have a government? Those things are going to be discussed. And you can explain the types of government, where various types of government can be explained, and also you can discuss the levels of government. These are the things we are going to learn in today's session. I am constantly saying the word government. Yes, where have you come across this word government? Yes, definitely when we watch news, out of 3 headlines or 4 headlines, 3 will be saying that this government has declared that, government has issued this, government is saying this. So you all would have been hearing this. Especially during this lockdown period, you would have come across this word in each and every news headlines. Am I right? Yes, you all would have heard this word government. Yes, what is this government? Is it an office or a group of people? Do you have any idea about what is a government? Yes. I have a definition for government. It is nothing but a group of people managing the affairs of a country is called a government. That is, in simple words I can say, government is an organization which is responsible for the welfare of the people living in a country and protecting the country. These two are the responsibilities of a government. We are going to read it in a wider manner about the functions of government. Then you will get a clear idea. My next question is, do we need government? That's my next question. Yes. The answer for this question comes from the different functions of the government. Yes. A simple idea is about the government is, why do a country need government is here. Every country needs government to make decisions and get things done. Yes, the first and foremost thing of a government is to make decisions. Yes, to make wiser decisions, and it is not enough that decisions alone is taken. Once the decision is taken, it has to come as a law or a regulation that is to be followed by the people in that country. Yes. I have listed some of the functions of the government. See here. First is, the government works towards managing the country's resources in an ethical and responsible manner. Yes. It is the first and foremost duty of a government. That is, to maintain the resources, to protect the life and property of the people. This is the first and foremost duty of a government. Yes. The next thing is, it also protects its people from potential danger. What are the potential dangers faced? Yes, all the natural disasters, to provide relief and aid people in case of famine, drought, earthquake, cyclone or other natural calamities. It is the responsibility of the government and to maintain the law and order. Yes, in a country it is necessary for the people to obey the law and order in that nation. It is also done by the government. Next is to bring about an order in the overall governance of the country. That is, whatever the amenities required by the people, that is to provide electricity, to provide water and all the transport systems by providing roadways. And the first and foremost thing is to remove poverty, unemployment, inequality and discrimination. These are the main responsibilities of the government, and to provide the basic facilities for all the people in the country, that is to provide the civic amenities. These are the various functions of the government. Yes. Now I have listed the government functions of the government in a more clear manner. Yes, there are 6 different functions. First is to maintain law and order. As I said, government is an organization which will create rules and regulations. After creating the rules and regulations, it is the responsibility of the people living in that country to obey all those rules and regulations. The second function is to provide security and safety to the people. That is the welfare of the people living in that country. It is also the responsibility of the government. Third one, see, protect boundaries of the country. That is to maintain friendly relationship with the neighboring countries, and if any danger, potential danger is caused to the boundaries of the country, then it is the function of the government to take necessary action. And next is the welfare of people, that is by providing all the civic amenities. I said no, the basic needs of the people, all the people in this world should be fulfilled. That is what the welfare of people. Next is developing infrastructure of the country. Yes, here construction of dams, roads, highways and bridges, all these comes under the developing the infrastructure of country. And finally, it is to eradicate poverty, diseases and unemployment. These are the important functions of the government. Now let us see the branches of government. What are the 3 branches of the government? They are the legislature, next is the executive, and third one is the judiciary. Let us see the functions of all these 3 things. First, it is the legislature. Legislature is nothing but which makes laws. And next is the executive, ensures that the laws are followed by the people. Once the laws are made by the legislature, it is the duty of the execution of that laws, that is the laws are followed by the people. And final branch of the government is the judiciary, that is providing justice to all the citizens of the country. These are the 3 main branches of the government. And next we are going to see the functioning of the government. See here, you would have come across these words, central government and state government. Yes, central government is the one which is taking care of the entire country, that is decisions pertaining to the whole country. And state government is nothing but the decisions and the welfare of the people in one particular state will be taken care of this state government. And one more thing is here, that is the local government. Yes, we are going to see everything in detail. First, let us see what is the local government. Yes, local government is nothing but it is an organization, it is an organ that takes care of the town or a village, and all the decisions of that city or a town or a village will be taken care by this local government. Next is a state government. All the decisions concerned to that of one particular state will be taken by the state government. And the central government is all the decisions concerning the whole country will be taken by the central government. Yes, these 3 are the levels of government. So thereby, why do we need all these 3 levels? Because central government cannot take care of all the things by direct way. So they are decentralizing everything. They are sharing the powers with the state government and that of the local government, such that the welfare of the people is taken into account. At no point people should suffer. That is the first and foremost function of the government. So only there are 3 levels of functioning of the government. Next, we are going to see the different forms of government. First is the monarchy. This was the oldest method of government. In this, the monarchy has a king, queen, emperor or empress. They will be here. In this, heirs will be there. That is, the son of a king will be the next king, and thereby it will be passed down as a hereditary. See here. Now also in some of the countries we have this monarchy system. Usually monarchy was a hereditary form of government in which the king or queen inherited the throne from their father or mother. This is not in existence in most of the countries. The next form of government is the dictatorship. It is a form of government in which all the authority and power will be enjoyed by one person. Yes, he will not show any responsibility for the welfare of the people, and he will force the people to follow him. Yes, people do not have much rights in a dictatorship type of government. Instead, they simply follow the decisions taken by the dictator. Yes, one such example is Adolf Hitler of Germany. He is one such dictator. Yes. Now the ultimate thing of this lesson, that is the democratic type of government. Yes, it is the most popular form of government all over the world, and India is one of the largest democratic country. Yes. As the definition of Abraham Lincoln here, see, democracy is the government of the people, by the people and for the people. Yes, this democracy government will be created from the people. One member among the people will be selected, and who will select? Yes, the people only will select that one representative, and the representative will work for the welfare of the other people. Yes, in a democracy, it is the people who give power to the government to take decisions and enforce laws. If they are unhappy with the functioning, they can take back their support and even remove it from power. This is what is happening in India. Yes, India is a democratic country. Democracy was established in India after a long struggle against the British government. So, it is the responsibility of every citizen to cast their vote in elections. Yes. Democracy is a Greek word. Demo means people and kratia means rule. So, democracy is the rule by the people. As citizens of India, As citizens of India, we are given enough powers to rule the country. So, as we have enough power, there are some rights given for us. Let us see what are the fundamental rights of a citizen. Yes. First is the right to equality. Yes. All the citizens in this country are given equal opportunities, and no discrimination is there based on their caste, creed or color. That is what right to equality. And next is the right to freedom of speech and expression, movement, residence, profession and trade. Yes, they have the right to express. That is, we the citizens of India have the right to express our views. That is the right to freedom of speech and expression. Right against exploitation. Yes, that is another fundamental right of every citizen. And the fourth one is right to freedom of religion. Whatever religion we like to follow, we are free enough to follow that religion. Yes, cultural and educational right. Yes, all the citizens of India were given freedom to follow the culture they need and the type of education they want to educate themselves. Yes, and the last one is the right to constitutional remedies. That is, they have given, people will be constantly monitoring the activities of the government. Yes, always the government is accountable to the people. We the people do not directly rule our country. We countries like India, which are bigger, they need a democracy. That is, a government based on majority is allowed to take important decisions on behalf of all the people and work for their welfare. This type of government is known as representative government. Yes, as we have power, we also have rights to be enjoyed. Let us see in detail how is this democracy working in our country. First is the UAF, that is the Universal Adult Franchise, that is right to vote. It is also called as the right to vote. UAF, Universal Adult Franchise, is also known as the right to vote. It means that the right to vote is given to all the adults without any discrimination. Women were given rights, voting rights. Yes, all the people in the country above the age of 18 years can vote. This is what this UAF. There will not be any discrimination based on their religion, race, caste, and sex. This reinforces one's faith in democracy. In olden days, all the people were not given this right to vote. Yes, only people who are rich enough, who were educated, who know the social, who are very much cared about the society, those people only were given the right to vote. Especially women were not at all given this right to vote. There was a protest against this partiality of not giving vote to women. Yes, this protest this was done by the British women. Yes, they waged a long struggle to get the right to vote. I have a short story for this. These people who protested for the vote were called as suffragettes. Yes, it is a woman who started this protest was Emmeline Pankhurst. It was done in Britain in 1928. This movement was called a suffragette movement because these protesters were called as suffragette. See here, this is the suffrage universal, that is the right to vote. After that movement only, all the women were given the right to vote. And one more thing is there, that is the apartheid. This is a case in South Africa. Yes, there was a severe racial discrimination between the white Africans and the black Africans. Yes, these black Africans, they were majority in count, but they were continuously discriminated by the white minority people. Yes, they were completely separated. Apartness, the word apartheid means apartness or separateness in African language. Yes, it is the policy of racial segregation practiced by the governing white minority. Yes, these white Africans, they used to always discriminate these black Africans, and they were not given the right to vote, to travel, or to mix up with the other people. They were continuously ill-treated. And they were separate reservation. Train coach also they cannot travel with other people. There were separate coaches. Thus these things made the black Africans to protest. Yes, to fight against apartheid, we had one great leader of Africa. It is none other than Nelson Mandela. He started his organization called African National Congress and organized an anti-apartheid movement. Yes, and after his long struggle for 40 years, the struggle for this racial discrimination came to an end. And finally, Nelson Mandela became the first black president of independent South Africa. Yes, this movement against apartheid is a true spirit of democracy. Yes, we have to be cautious enough, and we should see that this many hard work have been done by many people all over the world to achieve this democracy. So the first and foremost duty of a citizen in a democratic country is to vote. Yes, we have come to the end of today's session. I have some of the new terms. They are the suffragette. They are the women activists who agitated for winning right to vote. Yes, as I said, in olden days, women were not given the right to vote. They struggled a lot. They protested a lot to get that right. Yes. The next new term is universal adult franchise. That is the right to vote given to all the adults above the age of 18 years. Yes. And next is the apartheid, which is a policy of racial discrimination practiced by the white minority against non-white majority in South Africa. These are the new terms we have come across in this lesson. And that's all, children. This lesson, I hope it would have been very interesting for you. So I have a question for you to think. And we will discuss about this question in the active online session. Yes, what is the question? See here, there is one decision that has to be taken. What is that decision? Changing the design on a 500 rupee note. Yes, you all would have seen a 500 rupee note. If you have not seen, you can ask your parents and see that how is that 500 rupee note. And now my question is, there is a decision has to be taken. What is that decision? to change the design of the 500 rupee note. Now my question is, what level of government would this decision be taken at? We saw the three levels, no? Central, state or local. Which level of the government will take this decision? This is my question, and you think over it and we will discuss about this in our online session. That's all, children. We have come to the end of today's session. I hope this lesson, the government, would have been very interesting and would have given you a lot of information about the government and the rights of a citizen and what are the various movements to get that right to vote. So please go through the lesson and have a clear idea of what is given in this lesson. Thank you, children. Thank you so much.